How utterly frustrating must it be for fans of a legendary franchise to witness their beloved team, a perennial championship contender, seemingly caught between the tantalizing mirage of a dream scenario and the gritty, unyielding reality of a messy internal standoff? Is it not a bewildering paradox that while whispers of a seismic, league-altering trade involving a global icon ignite the imagination, the very foundation of a team's future is being tested by a protracted, high-stakes negotiation with one of its promising young stars? The Golden State Warriors, a team synonymous with innovation and unparalleled success, find themselves at precisely this crossroads, navigating a treacherous path where audacious ambition clashes head-on with the cold, hard truths of NBA roster construction. For years, the Golden State Warriors have captivated the basketball world, their brand of fluid, three-point-heavy offense revolutionizing the game. Yet, after their glorious 2022 championship run, the path has been anything but smooth. Disappointing playoff exits and a recent play-in tournament loss have left the franchise searching for that elusive spark, that perfect roster alchemy around the incomparable Stephen Curry. While the acquisition of Jimmy Butler last season injected a fresh dose of star power and grit, injuries cruelly derailed their playoff aspirations, leaving fans and management alike to ponder what might have been. It's in this climate of unfulfilled potential and a relentless pursuit of greatness that the most audacious of hypothetical scenarios has emerged, a vision so tantalizing it borders on the fantastical, the union of two titans, Stephen Curry and LeBron James. Imagine, if you will, the collective gasp across the NBA landscape. The very thought sends shivers down the spine of any true basketball aficionado. The proposal, floated by Fantasy Sports on SI Stan Angel, suggests a blockbuster trade that would see the Warriors acquire LeBron James and his son, Bronny James, from the Los Angeles Lakers. In return, the Lakers would receive Jimmy Butler and a 2028 first-round pick. On paper, it's a deal that could redefine the league. For the Lakers, parting with the superstardom of James would be a monumental decision, but the prospect of pairing the relentless, two-way force of Jimmy Butler with the generational talent of Luka Doncic offers a more natural, potentially more sustainable fit for their future. But for the Warriors, the allure is almost irresistible. LeBron James, even at this stage of his legendary career, remains an unparalleled playmaker, a basketball savant with an uncanny ability to elevate those around him. Picture him seamlessly slotting into the Warriors' dynamic offense, orchestrating plays from the wing, taking the ball-handling burden off Stephen Curry, allowing the greatest shooter in league history to conserve energy and unleash his unparalleled off-ball brilliance. It's a dream pairing, a chance for two of the game's all-time greats, whose epic NBA Finals battles have etched themselves into basketball lore, to unite for one last glorious championship chase. While a deal of this magnitude is undoubtedly a long shot, a delicious fantasy for the summer doldrums, it underscores the Warriors' unwavering commitment to chasing greatness, even as a far more grounded and far more complicated reality unfolds within their own locker room. Because while the hypothetical pursuit of LeBron James ignites the imagination, the Golden State Warriors are grappling with a far more immediate and tangible challenge: the unresolved, restricted, free agency of Jonathan Kuminga. This isn't a dream, it's a grinding, protracted standoff that has cast a long shadow over their offseason. Despite the NBA offseason largely winding down, with players and team personnel enjoying well-deserved breaks, the Kuminga situation remains a thorny, unresolved issue that demands attention before training camp begins in September. At just 22 years old, Jonathan Kuminga is a raw, athletic talent with immense potential. The Warriors, particularly owner Joe Lacob, have consistently expressed high hopes for his development. Yet, over the past year, a clear divergence has emerged. Kuminga is ready to move on. The reasons are multifaceted and deeply personal for the young forward. Inconsistent minutes, reports of him losing faith in head coach Steve Kerr, and even being benched late in the 2024-25 season have all contributed to his desire for a fresh start. These on-court frustrations were compounded by a significant chasm in contract extension negotiations prior to the 2024-25 season. Kuminga and his camp entered the offseason with a clear objective: secure long-term financial stability, and a consistent role that fosters his continued growth. He understands that as long as Stephen Curry, Jimmy Butler, and Draymond Green are the cornerstones of the Dubs' plans, he will never be at the forefront. This desire for a new chapter led Kuminga's representation to engage in extensive sign-and-trade discussions with several teams across the league. However, what was initially anticipated to be a robust market for the former 7th overall pick never truly materialized. The Miami Heat, a rumored suitor, never genuinely pursued him. The Chicago Bulls, while engaging in brief discussions at the start of free agency, were primarily focused on resolving Josh Giddey's restricted free agency situation, making a Kuminga-Giddey swap or active pursuit of the Australian guard a non-starter for Golden State. The Phoenix Suns also expressed interest, but a significant hurdle emerged from the Warriors' perspective: their unwavering reluctance to take on long-term salary in a potential sign-and-trade. The Suns' primary offerings, Grayson Allen and Royce O'Neal, both came with multi-year deals, making them unappealing to Golden State's financial strategy. Even the Milwaukee Bucks, who briefly considered Kuminga, were quickly deterred when the Warriors made it clear their preferred return in a sign-and-trade would be Bobby Portis, a player Milwaukee was unwilling to part with despite Golden State's long-standing interest in him dating back to before the 2024 NBA trade deadline. This leaves the Sacramento Kings as the sole serious suitor for Kuminga via a sign-and-trade at this juncture of the offseason. The Kings, clearly believing in Kuminga's potential and value, are reportedly willing to commit to a 3-year, $63 million contract for him. However, this deal would necessitate a sign-and-trade, as Sacramento is approximately $7 million shy of their first apron hard cap. Their initial offer of Dario Saric, Devin Carter, and a protected first-round pick evolved, according to Sam Amick of The Athletic, into the current proposal: Malik Monk and a protected 2030 first-round pick for Kuminga. While many Warriors fans might view the acquisition of Malik Monk, a dynamic scorer off the bench, as a favorable outcome, the situation is far more intricate than a simple one-for-one transaction. The Warriors' hesitation in these trade negotiations stems from a consistent and strategic approach to their roster construction. Firstly, they are steadfast in their refusal to take back long-term salaries in a sign-and-trade, and Monk is under contract through the 2027-28 season. More critically, Golden State is determined to avoid being hard-capped at the first apron again. They experienced the restrictive consequences of this during the 2024-25 season, which limited their ability to build out the back end of their roster and complicated the acquisition of Jimmy Butler. To maintain the flexibility to pursue future star players who might become available, the Dubs are adamantly against being hard-capped. Taking on Monk's salary, which is higher than Kuminga's would-be base-year compensation in a sign-and-trade, would immediately hard-cap the Warriors. The only way to circumvent this would be to send out additional salary to the Kings or a third team in the form of Moses Moody or Buddy Hield. This, however, is a non-starter for Golden State. They hold no desire to trade either player in a package with Kuminga simply to acquire Monk and acquiesce to Kuminga's demands. Because Kuminga is a restricted free agent, the Warriors firmly believe they hold the upper hand, controlling the keys to his future. They have signaled unequivocally that unless a trade to their precise liking materializes, they will not be pressured into a deal. Entering August, the team reportedly cut off all sign-and-trade avenues, effectively communicating to Kuminga that he will not be on another team to start the 2025-26 season. There have been no ongoing trade conversations with the Kings since their last offer involving Monk. The lack of compelling trade value presented for Kuminga this offseason has only solidified the Warriors' comfort with the idea of retaining him. Their current offer to Kuminga is a 2-year, $45 million contract, which includes a team option in the second year and would require Kuminga to waive the no-trade clause he would otherwise receive. This leaves Kuminga with two stark choices: accept this 2-year proposal or sign his $7.9 million qualifying offer. As one might expect, this proposition has not been well received by Kuminga or his representation, especially given his expressed desire to move on from Golden State. This is why the $7.9 million qualifying offer looms large as a potential threat from Kuminga's side. The question now becomes a high-stakes game of chicken. Would Kuminga truly sacrifice over $14 million in guaranteed money and the possibility of over $20 million in the second year of the contract with a team option just to become an unrestricted free agent in 2026? This is the bluff that General Manager Mike Dunleavy Jr. and the Warriors front office are currently calling. While the Warriors have made it clear they are not actively pursuing more sign-and-trade scenarios, they will, of course, always listen to offers. Should the right deal present itself, Golden State would undoubtedly seize the opportunity. However, at this point in the offseason, the Kings' offer appears to be the most substantial one on the table. With potential signings like Al Horford and Anthony Melton lined up, the Warriors are hoping for a swift resolution to Kuminga's restricted free agency. From Kuminga's perspective, however, there is no rush to concede to Golden State's demands. So, when will a solution finally emerge from this quagmire? Kuminga remains resolute, passively signaling his strong desire not to return to the Warriors. If he does end up back in Golden State, it's widely understood that it won't be a long-term commitment, and Kuminga intends for it to be on his terms. This notion has only solidified as the standoff drags into mid-August. Kuminga's camp believes that if the Warriors refuse to trade him to the Kings, he could continue to play hardball by accepting his qualifying offer. This move would effectively prevent Golden State from trading him during the entire 2025-26 season. But at what cost to Kuminga? Would it truly be a shrewd decision for a young player still striving to prove himself in the league to forego significant guaranteed money? There are legitimate concerns that his value could be severely diminished if he accepts such a low offer, becomes an unrestricted free agent in 2026, and sees limited playing time in the upcoming year due to the inevitable tension and potentially toxic situation between the two sides. Conversely, beyond the qualifying offer, Kuminga's camp continues to push back against the Warriors' two-year, $45 million proposal. If he is to waive the no-trade clause in the deal, Kuminga and his representation have signaled they want a player option in the second year rather than the team option currently on the table. The Warriors, however, have shown no inclination to alter this proposal. Until one side blinks, this stalemate will persist, mirroring the broader restricted free agent market that also impacts players like Josh Giddey, Quentin Grimes, and Cam Thomas, with resolutions often coming right before training camp deadlines. Both Jonathan Kuminga and the Golden State Warriors firmly believe they possess the leverage in this negotiation, which explains the complete lack of progress over the past several weeks. All that is definitively known at this moment is that the Dubs are standing firm, showing no immediate signs of capitulating to a sign-and-trade with the Kings. The dream of LeBron James may dance in the minds of the faithful, but the very real, very messy reality of Jonathan Kuminga's future continues to cast a long, uncertain shadow over the Golden State Warriors' championship aspirations. What do you make of this complex dance? Should the Warriors prioritize their financial flexibility and hardline stance with Kuminga, or is the risk of a disgruntled player and a thin roster too great for a team with championship ambitions? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you're as captivated by the intricate high-stakes chess match of NBA team building as we are, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth analysis and breaking news.